inside this show right now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ian Blair. He has taken the humble Tide Pod and made it sexy and cool and better, smelling better, feeling fancier. And I would say done it incredibly well. I mean, maybe Ian will get mad at me for comparing that with Tide. But when I was looking at his website this morning, I was like, would I rather have this than Tide? Yeah, I would. Picking my fragrance. I think this guy's even done partnerships and stuff like Tom Ford's making a fragrance for his laundry sauce. It's a great idea. A great idea. We must bring him inside of the show. Everybody, welcome the one and only Ian Blair, co-founder and CEO of Laundry Sauce. Get in here, Ian. Get inside.
Let's go.
Whoa, look at that setup. Whoa.
It's not too bad, right?
Ian.
Setup mogging us. Let's go.
This is a baller setup. This is a baller setup, sir. We appreciate you making the time to join us. Welcome to the show, Ian.
Yeah, it's great to be with you guys. As a CEO of a e-commerce company like this, you're always on calls all day, so might as well have a good studio setup.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely agree.
I totally agree. Ian, give me a little origin story on Laundry Sauce. This is I have known of you and heard of Laundry Sauce from days of yore. This is to me, it's like a genius idea for fancifying, leveling up everyone's washing their clothes experience. We all have to do it. Tam's giant. It's huge. Yeah. We all got to do it every day. Make it fancier, make me feel better, make me feel upper class. That makes all the sense in the world. Give me the origin story on this thing.
Yeah, well, we got to go all the way back to, my journey as an entrepreneur. I started my first real company when I was in college. We made it so people could build mobile apps with no coding required as a company called BuildFire. Published about 15,000 apps to the App Store over a decade. So really challenging business in a lot of ways because of how service forward it was. And, but I kind of got to cut my teeth in software, and my skill set was always digital marketing. So I always knew I wanted to be in e-commerce. I sold golf balls on eBay when I was in high school, and that was kind of my first taste of online sales. And there's really nothing like it. So, participating in entrepreneurial groups over the years and seeing my friends crush it in e-commerce, I kind of had the general characteristics of what needs to be true to have a high growth e-commerce business. And, ultimately you want a business where you can pile a ton of money into advertising. And as I was kind of thinking through all the different categories you could go into, laundry really stood out to me as an opportunity where it was very mundane. It seems like D2C has gone and improved all these other product categories, whether it's fashion or beauty, home care, so forth. But it seemed like laundry was just left behind. And it just felt like there was a lot of white space in the market. And where D2C players had come in previously was really on this eco-friendly angle, think of Earth Breeze. And I just felt like that was a bit played out. So it's how can we differentiate the product? And we just realized no one's doing ultra premium laundry detergent here. So why not make Laundry Day something you look forward to? So that's really the kind of the brand promise of Laundry Sauce, is to elevate Laundry Day through high performance scent and ingredients that actually clean your clothes, unlike some of these other super eco-friendly brands.
Super smart, man. I love that.
That's incredible. I mean, Ian, you hit 8 figures incredibly fast.
Yeah.
I mean, can you talk a little bit about what actually drove that versus what people potentially assume drove that?
Yeah, well, so I knew the companies that grew the fastest are the ones that could advertise the most. So you need to be in a high LTV category where you can actually go buy customers, where you can earn incremental revenue over time. If you're selling one-time goods, you have to be first purchase profitable, and if you're not, you're kind of hosed.
Hosed.
Yeah, I knew the general here's what needs to be true in order to advertise a lot, right? And I think also it helps when you have a product that is kind of new and disruptive to the market. So we were able to scale on Meta early on, and probably at the tail end where you could really do that. And it was a really fast ramp. Our first month we did 10K, then 20K, 20K, then we did 170 in our third full month in business. And, by the end of the first year, we were doing like over $500,000 a month. And I think it was, literally 18 months after we made our first sale, we had a 10 million run rate.
Crazy, man.
That's
Crazy.
bananas. That's banana scale.
Yeah, it's something that like you can get excited about. And I'm a strong believer that like momentum begets momentum. So when you're trying to convince investors to become a part of the company, you're trying to attract top talent. When you have that type of growth, it's easy to get excited about it. And I'd say Laundry Sauce from the very beginning has been a story of momentum.
That's fascinating, man. I love this. I agree with you. Like momentum begets momentum, and it's interesting. I've seen it a few times. One time in particular in my career, where you get in that thing, you get in the seat, and you start mashing the gas, and all of a sudden you become very convinced. I've got a tiger by the tail.
Yeah.
This is the right mix of audience, product, better coffee. We're going about it a unique way.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long I'm going to have this opportunity. We better just mash the floor with this gas pedal and go as fast as possible. I mean, it sounds like that is what you were feeling at the time. Is that the case, Ian?
Absolutely. And I think one of the interesting things about what we've done in this product category is we legitimately have created the best laundry detergent there is in the market. So, we are like the Rolls-Royce of laundry, in my opinion. It cleans super well. The fragrances are second to none, the packaging and experience. So we can really lean on that. If you're a good marketer, you can at least get people to try the product. But, in these high LTV consumable type of product categories, the only way you're going to win is if you get the second, third, fourth, fifth purchase, etc. And you have to be able to deliver the goods. And I think laundry categorically is probably one of the higher LTV categories because you can't necessarily opt out of laundry at any point in time. You're not going to stop washing your clothes. And you hear the stories of like the 25-year Tide consumer, right? It's like, oh, this is what my grandma used and my mom used, and I've just bought it for my whole life. And I feel like our product experience is so much better. You can at least convince someone to try it, and then when they actually get it, they're like, wow, this is really good. So I think we've delivered on the product promise as well, not just pure marketing.
Yeah, I just briefly here, Colin. I know you're waiting with bated breath here. I think there is truly something to this, and a lot of us, what I'll say, in e-commerce, maybe this was especially possible in years gone by. Mostly marketing companies, and then nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. What do I got? Is it totally unique? No, but I can put my spin on it, and I'm great at ads, and I'm great at email, and let's go make a few $1 million. That day seems to be less and less the case now. I think in the new era of e-com, D2C consumer, like truly having something that is unique about what you're doing and actually producing a better cup of coffee gives you a giant advantage inside of our space. I mean, that seems to be what's taking place here with Laundry Sauce.
I mean, certainly. I think, it is a commoditized category, but there's still room for product innovation. And we're very fortunate that when I was exploring this business idea, we were able to get connected with someone now who's our technical co-founder. Early on, he's got a PhD in analytical chemistry, worked at Unilever in the laundry division for a decade. So we have some like real technical, like in-house capability. And it's interesting to see him, working with some of the labs and just kind of the technical expertise that he has. You can kind of, like when you're non-technical, when you see them interacting with other technical people, you can kind of see that they're like a step above,
Yeah.
So, and when we met with people, in the industry, and they've obviously seen D2C come into all these other product categories and make it better. But laundry is something that has to be done at scale and is technically challenging. So if you think about like beverage, for example, you can go find a co-man to go run like 10,000 cans for you. Yeah. It's not rocket science. For some of these other, product categories like you're talking about, where it's just heavily commoditized, there's real technical innovation in our product and formulations, and just working with some of the best co-mans out there. It's I think we delivered on an incredible product promise.
It's not rocket science. It's laundry science.
Yes, laundry size. I'll say too, this is like, brother, there's a number of things that you've hit here that are like the accumulation of the infinity stones
Yeah,
here. It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
the technical founder,
Yeah.
the right time, the subscription,
Huge.
the LTV, the, better product, smells good. It's like, there's a lot of things that
I think we're very fortunate that a lot of things have kind of come together, and, I don't take it for granted, but it's a massive opportunity. And, I think it was all by design, as well as it has gone. And like, as thankful as I am for everything, it was all truly like thought out well ahead of time. One of the things that I also find interesting about our brand, and I don't think this is just people blowing smoke up my ass, like people seem to have some really, really strong brand affinity to our product. Like we do have like a cult-like following, and, I hear it from, you get it in the reviews, you hear anecdotally through friends and family and so forth, and how people just get like absolute hooked on this. And for some reason, we just have massive enthusiasm about the brand. And like, that's also something cool. And, it's somewhat emergent too. It's like, that's hard. I think that's a little bit harder to manufacture.
I love it.
Ian, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about kind of this operator playbook that you've rock and rolled with. I mean, say I'm an operator, I'm listening to this, I'm 7 figures, I'm trying to get to that elusive 8. What is the first thing that they should focus on first? What are you telling them in the great year 2026 to focus on first to make that jump?
Sure. Well, it all depends on what the constraints are, right? And ultimately, you're just trying to relieve constraints in order to scale, because like you might be blocked on manufacturing, or you might be blocked in terms of your channel mix, and your ability to like actually have incremental ROAS that scales. So it is dependent for everyone, because do you need to reduce CAC? Do you need to increase LTV? I mean, those are two of the different like levers that you can actually pull. But I do think in this day and age, if you're really trying to scale to a larger brand, it's hard to just pump it all into Meta and expect it to, scale like it used to. So you need to be investing in alternative top of funnel channels that are much harder to measure. And like, that's, I think, where the greats are made, and like where people just kind of stay in their lane and like don't scale, is because they don't have, I guess, the gumption to go spend in other channels to actually build awareness.
Ooh. What are you liking right now? What are you liking that are Meta alternatives? What are you interested in right now?
One that I'm really bullish on is Google Demand Gen.
Come on, talk to me, Ian.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's a totally undervalued, media channel. And then also like CTV is adjacent to that as well. And
I agree.
Totally agree.
When you get the opportunity to tell your story on the big screen in people's living room, especially for a home care product, I think there's something really special about that. But you do need a certain type of creative in order to make that work. Like we have invested in some of these like amazing, top of funnel campaigns that you can actually pump huge amounts of spend behind on Demand Gen or CTV. And you need to show up differently on the big screen than you do on Meta or TikTok nowadays.
Yeah. See, I really think that TV, there's a couple things happening that I think are going to become very big parts of what we are doing in consumer. I think live selling will be will become, because it solves some of the issues that you are underlining. Yeah, sometimes you can only go so far on Meta, you're constrained, etc. Okay, what can I do? Well, live selling, I can get eyeballs. It just costs me sweat, It costs me sweat. I got to get sweaty. I got to risk my face, but I can get eyeballs that way. And then I totally agree with you on the CTV side, even linear, being on the biggest screen in the house and being in front of your ICP. And of course, you need to do some things that may be more possible now in 2026 to measure that. I think placing bets this way is going to become normalized inside of our industry. Why wouldn't you want to be on the biggest screen in the house? Doing maybe your own version of a condensed Billy Mays infomercial. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what feels right for the brand. But the one thing that I found interesting about these, upper funnel channels, particularly CTV, is how much lift you get in other channels as well. Like if you see a laundry sauce ad on your TV, and then you're scrolling through TikTok, and then you see a creator talking about it, like there's just more legitimacy to the whole story and narrative.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if that's a millennial thing, but it definitely,
Yeah.
like for me, if I see you on TV and then I stumble upon you on my phone, there's a
Yeah.
legitimacy conveyed. There's
Yeah.
something magical with millennials and boomers, at least,
Yeah.
about TV. There's something about that. Sorry, go ahead, Colin.
Well, I was just going to say, Ian, you're coming to us from Alicia at After Sell. Could you talk to us a little bit about what you guys are doing with them to kind of push you guys forward?
Yeah, I mean, After Sell has been a great partnership. Those post-purchase upsells are awesome. And then, we've also been using their advertising network as well. So where other people are promoting Laundry Sauce post-purchase and they do it on a CPA basis, it's kind of hard to say no to that. It feels like free money.
Okay, so
Yeah, wait.
I find this very interesting.
Yeah.
And what you're describing here, Ian, is that on other people's websites you are popping up in Laundry Sauce. Is that what you're describing here? Like the rocked thanks, like
Yeah.
you're popping up there
Yeah,
on
exactly.
other people's websites after they purchase. Like this is I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, what were these other people doing here? And then like I started to like figure out like what is happening. I started thinking like, actually, like this is really smart. Like, associated with this brand that I already
Yeah.
like, here's these people popping up. I mean, did that feel like risky to try out? Like when you first did that?
No, I mean, one, I have a lot of respect for the company, and like
Yeah.
they clearly have their stuff together. So when they are pitching me on this, I was pretty open minded, like let's do it. And then the results just ultimately speak for themselves. So it wasn't a hard ask from my end. And when you start making sales, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ian, you've raised money to continue to propel this thing forward, correct?
Yeah, we have.
Was that I can't imagine with your growth trajectory, I can't imagine those conversations were too hard to have and get some people on board with. Right? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. It was surprisingly harder than I thought it was going to be, even with our momentum, because even after hitting like a 10 million run rate in 18 months, going and raising money, like you'd have institutional investors that would be like, oh yeah, we still need more cohort data. Like we don't believe in it.
Yeah.
That shocks me. I mean, I've never raised money. I've always bootstrapped everything. So
Ian, we're cheering from the sidelines on this one. We're cheering from the sidelines. It's a classic line.
I can't believe that. They say, oh, we're not sure yet. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then even as we've gotten like further along too, then like that was probably one of the biggest blockers early on for institutional capital, is like they wanted to just see like more cohort data and see that how sticky it is. And then you get past that point, and then like the next objective is like, oh, we need to see traction in retail. So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's funny how you kind of like have all these different like gates you need to get through, but then once you get like kind of beyond all that, then I think at a certain scale, like money does become a lot easier because it's just so undeniable. But I really thought like early on, the early traction was just so compelling. I was like, this has to be easy. But I also do think raising capital post 2021 got a lot harder with interest rates going up. There's a lot less risk capital in the market as well.
That's fair.
So you do have to have a really strong business and brand, I think, in order to raise capital in today's environment. But fortunately, we've gotten through all those difficult moments and have made it to this point.
This to me. Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Well, I was just going to say we are a kindred spirit. We have both sold a business on acquire.com.
Oh, nice!
Incredible experience for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I won't speak for you. I would love for you to talk through that experience on like what should founders know before they sell that business that they learn way too late.
All right, well, we can get candid on this one. So Andrew Gazdecki, he was a competitor early on. So he had a company called Business Apps. So my company, Buildfire, we were actually direct competitors. He ended up selling Business Apps, and I was trying to get liquidity for Buildfire for a bit of time, and we tried selling it at literally the worst time possible, which was basically, it was right after, Russia invades Ukraine. You got rampant inflation, interest rates are going up. Then you have AI, kind of creating the SaaS apocalypse. Like, there was never probably a worse time to sell a company. But on the other hand, I have, Laundry Sauce, which is just scaling like crazy. So,
yeah,
it was kind of this, I was, running 2 companies at once was a lot, to be honest.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I knew if someone could help me with the process, it was a guy that owned the exact same company that I did, essentially. So we worked together, and he was able to help get it sold in a matter of months. And I thought that was like really powerful. And, the fees relative to investment bankers or, brokers were pretty reasonable. And it just seemed like they had a lot of buyers on the platform. So I was very happy to get that done. And it was a clean transaction where I could go on and go build Laundry Sauce.
Smooth.
Incredible. Yeah.
Smooth.
I always rave about the experience.
Yeah.
It was just like so smooth compared to like, I don't know, trying to go through a traditional brokerage.
Yeah. And if I had to like give advice to, founders and entrepreneurs, especially after going through kind of this wave where, SaaS was at this like all-time peak. I was building a company probably when like SaaS was like the coolest market to be a part of.
Yeah.
And then it became not really quickly. And I think the financial bar that's set for companies now, like everyone, wants to see profitable companies, like fast growth. So I think it's just been, more challenging, kind of the metrics you have to hit as a business to be considered like kind of an A grade type of company now. So I look at durability of revenue. Like, there's a reason why I'm in laundry, because I just know the demand for laundry is not going to go away anytime soon. Where
Totally.
A lot of these software companies, like, who knows if there's even a market for it in 5 years, 10 years. So I want to be putting my time, effort, and energy into something that I know will, compound and, really have staying power.
Yeah. I mean, humans are always going to wear clothes. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
But fashion companies suck in terms of like their multiples. Like, I think it probably has arguably the lowest enterprise value out of any type of e-commerce business.
Wow. And it's got to be encouraging. Just this past week, or maybe that was this week, seeing Thorn trade at higher multiples than even Airtable. And maybe Airtable's like a specific example. Right?
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. Airtable had like $1 billion of cash too, and what they sell for like was it 2.2? So like the actual EV was maybe like 1.2 billion on over 400 million of ARR. So when you have a fully scaled SaaS company trading at 3x, like, I mean, good consumer companies trade at 3x.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a perfect case in point of, I'm happy to be out of software and in consumer.
Love.
Bullish
Everybody
case
should
for
be
consumer.
like bullish case for consumer. I think the takeaway here is be like Ian. Okay.
Let's go.
figure out, navigate, thread the needle, and make a better cup of coffee in an industry that's not going to die and not going to go anywhere soon.
Yeah.
Ian, man, we appreciate you coming and joining us. And brother, I think we need to have you back, man. Tell us before you go, where can people find you, follow you, talk with you on the interwebs, etc.? What does that look like, brother? I know we all
easiest
need
way
to
stay in touch and see what I'm up to is probably on Instagram. My handle is Ian Blair 44. So you'll see some extreme sports, exotic cars, a bit of business content, but I have a lot of fun. So it's a good fun.
Well, that sounds like it. And hopefully Laundry Sauce just enables you to have even more fun, brother. We appreciate you making the time to join us. Look forward to having you back, man.
Yeah, that's great. See ya.